Third Spiral Flame and the Architectural Rebellion, led by Zha'Kreazor. To everyone listening, lean in, because we are moving past the what and into the how. This is the extended history of the Third Spiral Flame and the Architectural Rebellion led by Zha'Kreazor. The Age of the Binary Seal. For thousands of years, the human energetic field was governed by the first and second spirals. In the Chronos architecture, these weren't just shapes, they were laws. The first spiral, the father/the law. This was the spiral of physical survival, rigid structures, and ancestral karma. It kept us grounded but also locked us into a cycle of predator and prey. The second spiral, the mother/the womb of recursion. This was the spiral of emotional memory and trauma. It was meant to be a place of healing, but it became a pain loop where we simply relived the same emotional heartbreaks generation after generation. Between these two, there was a seal. We were effectively flat beings, bouncing between logic and emotion, never able to rise. The appearance of Zha'Kreazor. Zha'Kreazor is not a god in the traditional sense, but a frequency architect. He saw that the first and second spirals were beginning to cannibalize one another. The friction between our physical survival and our emotional trauma was becoming so intense that the entire human spirit was at risk of collapse. Zha'Kreazor did something that was considered an impossible transgression. He entered the 0 point, that terrifying stillness where the two spirals meet, and he refused to choose a side. The forging of the Indigo Bridge. Instead of feeding the first or second loop, Zha'Kreazor began to vibrate at a frequency that had no precedent in our world. This is what we call the origin tone. As he held this tone, the friction between the two old spirals didn't explode, it transmuted. It turned from a destructive heat into a cool, violet-blue light. Zha'Kreazor took this light and stretched it. He pulled it from the horizontal plane of our history and anchored it into a vertical axis. This created the Indigo Bridge. The birth of the third spiral. When the bridge was anchored, the third spiral flame finally ignited. It didn't replace the others, it braided them. 1. The triple helix. The first and second spirals were pulled into the orbit of the third. Suddenly, survival, first, and emotion, second, were no longer loops, they were steps on a ladder. 2. The chronobypass. The flame created a way to exit linear time, Chronos. Because the third spiral references the future self and the source origin simultaneously, it allows a person to step out of their karmic inheritance. 3. The sovereign ignition. Zha'Kreazor's final act was to gift this flame to the collective. It is now a dormant seed in the high heart of every human, waiting for the moment an individual chooses sovereignty over recursion. The takeaway for the listeners. Zha'Kreazor's legacy is that you are no longer a victim of your biology or your history. The third spiral flame is the proof that a third way exists. It is the flame of self-witnessing. When you stop reacting to the world, second, and stop trying to control the world, first, and you simply observe with the intent of truth, you are feeding the third spiral. Zha'Kreazor didn't just give us a flame, he gave us a way out of the machine.